Okay, it's Toby from Heavyweight MMA. Today with Quillan Salkilld. How are you, bro?
G'day, Toby. I'm all good, thanks.
Bro, with only 5 years in the sport, and is it four MMA fights under your belt or 5 MMA fights under your belt? You're up in the top of the Australian scene, bro.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, 5 professional fights, but I've had 11 amateur fights as well, plus a few Muay Thai as well.
Yeah, I noticed that one, bro. And of those guys you've fought a couple of beasts as well, bro. One that kind of sticks out in mind was back in your amateur days was Biayda. He's a top fighter, man. He looks so dangerous.
Yeah.
Coming up against him, I'd be scared, bro, to be honest.
Yeah, that's right. I grappled, man. Just shot from the bell, man.
That's it, man. Anyway, congrats on your recent win at Eternal, bro. A lightweight belt holder now. But I do hear from David Martinez that the belt is actually haunted or something. It's jinxed. So let's see how you go in the next one. What do you think about that? Have you heard that before?
I have heard, but the belt's in safe hands now. You know, it's going to be a long reign.
That's it, man. Hey, so can you talk a little bit about your background? I know you started out, you wanted to be a skater, you liked AFL, then you found your way into martial arts, bro. So what was the feeling when you first kicked off in your training?
Yeah, when I first started training, man, I just enjoyed it so much. Like, I got to the point because I wanted to play football, and the goal there was to get into the AFL. And then I reached a point where I really didn't know what to do. I was like on the ropes with both, but then, you know, I finally just decided just to, you know, hang up the boots and put on the gloves instead. And never turned back. And, you know, just really happy with that decision I made.
Man, a common thread with guys that are successful in MMA or fighting arts is they take to it like a duck to water. You know, they just suddenly, that's their life. They're focused on that entirely. Was that something that's true for you with martial arts, or is that something true for you for anything you've sort of been interested in, like playing AFL, etc.?
Yeah, I've a pretty obsessive mindset. Like once I get into something, I can't think about anything else. And this MMA has just been like a long-term version of it.
Yeah, talking about that, it kind of touches on something else I read that you said your greatest ability is to absorb info and learn and get better. So that's kind of probably joins in together with that obsessive sort of mindset, right?
Yes, it does. Yeah,
man, it's a bit of a short time. Thinking about like 5 years or so of training. Right now you're in the Australian scene, you're kicking ass. Do you think that'll affect anything at all later? Because nowadays, guys your age, some of them have been competing since they're like 5 years old in wrestling or whatever. Do you think you can keep up with those guys in the future when you get up to the big leagues?
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, man. I don't do this just to, you know, just to be the average fighter. You know, I do this to be the best. You know, I train twice a day, every day. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I've been training and competing for 10 years. You know, that's I'm going to compete with them and I'm going to beat them.
Yeah, I noticed like your movement, man. I watched a little bit of training footage, and you've got a very fluent sort of athletic movement, the way you adapt to things and that. And I heard you mention your last fight talking about grappling a little bit, like that was probably your focus, but then you just went out and starched him.
We kind of game planned for that. You know, we knew he was going to lead with his jab, and we drilled, you know, various different, you know, combinations depending on the range and the distance, depending where those jabs coming from. So, you know, once I seen he was loading up for that jab, you know, it just happened.
Big overhand counter, right? Was it a right overhand counter? Kind of a bit messy to watch.
It was a slip inside, right hand over the top, and then you follow up with a hook.
The hook, yeah, that's it, man. Hey, jumping back just a little bit, you started training and you competed in a couple of different sort of combat sports, boxing and BJJ. Just what was your sort of feeling about competing, man? Was that something that you felt good at? You felt naturally inclined? Did you feel nervous about it? What was your sort of take when you started?
Yeah, I originally wanted to compete just to, you know, just as a test, you know, like it was just, you know, like a rite of passage. And I've been doing this training, and it's like, you know, time to, you know, you got to put it to the test there's no point, you know, learning all this knowledge and not being able to use it. So yeah, I just wanted to just compete just to test myself. Never been in that like kind of situation before. And then after the first one, you know, that feeling, I just wanted to go again.
So the feeling of winning was good. What about the lead up, man? Like everyone faces things differently. I've talked to guys that feel really nervous before fights. Some guys even throw up before some fights. Some guys don't even care at all. They feel nothing until they're in the ring. What's your sort of feeling?
Yeah, I get real nervous just as, you know, anyone does, you know, mainly that hits in the locker rooms pretty much before the fight. Like, you know, the weeks leading up, not so much. Usually just happens, yeah, you know, like as you like rock up to the venue on fight day.
Yeah, bro. And just leading up to fights, man, I have some interest. I heard you talking about your breakdown of fighting. It's around 2 times a day, Sundays off. But how do you guys break down your training, and what sort of additional things do you do, like apart from just your generic training, to, you know, maintain your body and etc.?
Yeah, well, Monday through Fridays, it's like twice a day. I do like pretty much most of the classes, you know, at the gym. And depending on how my body's feeling, I'll, you know, decide whether to go hard or to go light. You know, I do, yeah, ice baths, sauna, you know, I eat correctly. So I listen to my body well. You know, I know when to, you know, back off a bit, and I know when to push it. But I never really have like a full, you know, day off. It's mainly just, you know, tapering the intensity.
Man, when you say eat properly, do you have someone guiding you through that, or you just do it yourself?
I do a lot of my own research on that. So I pretty much take care of myself when it comes to the nutrition aspect.
Any interest in the future in teaming up with some of those guys? Obviously, the fight dietitian, etc., pretty big in the scene right now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm open to that. Of course.
Yeah. Hey, man, so you're from Luistro Combat Academy under Ramel Luistro. Can you give us a little take on what the gym's like, what it's about, what's the general sort of feeling there?
Yeah, it's a very family-like, you know, gym, because we're a small gym, so everyone knows each other like really well. So every time you come to the gym, you know, everyone's all smiling, happy faces. You know, where, you know, everyone's like safe to train with. No one's, you know, there's no like spastics that are going to like, you know, hurt you when you train with them. So it's a very competitive but safe training environment, and everyone just, you know, everyone loves each other in there.
That's nice, man. And obviously you're competing with the best in Oz now. Who are your sort of key training partners that can keep you at that level, that enough to maintain and go beyond that?
Yeah. Well, I train with like the Jones brothers. If you know Daniel and Luke Jones, yeah, they're absolute weapons, man. You know, it's very hard to, you know, to win any sort of, you know, exchange with them. I also train with Cody Haddon. As you know, he's absolute weapon. He's 2 weight classes below me, and he's like toughest round in the gym pretty much. You know, I train with other guys, Stephen Wong. We're like the same pretty much build, and there's a bunch of guys. They're probably the main ones I spar with at the moment. Yeah.
Man, I'm jumping back again. I didn't ask like your upbringing, man. The name Salkilld as well. I had to look it up where it's from, man, because I never heard this name before, and it's related to the UK, right? Like a place from the UK or England or something.
Yeah, I think it's I think originally it's like Norwegian if you go back further, but yeah, I've done a bit of research on that. Yeah, it's like from a certain town in the UK.
And bro, where you've grown up, I'm assuming you're from the Perth area.
Yes.
How is it there, man? Is it a rough sort of place? Is there much fighting in your childhood or anything like that, or you just took to it as a sport? Shit. You there, bro?
Shit.
You there, bro? I got you again.
Just cut out there. Oh, there we go. We're back.
It's all cool. I can edit out anything, so it's easy. Yeah, I just mentioned, so coming from Perth growing up, did you have many fights growing up, or that part of the environment, or you just kind of took to it as a sport?
Yeah, I just took to it as a sport. You know, I didn't, you know, not didn't grow up in any like real rough places, you know, like I only spent like pretty much half, not even like a little bit of my childhood here in Perth, and spent most of it actually up in Broome in the northern part of WA, and yeah, I only pretty much moved down here properly when I was about 17.
Yeah,
to play footy originally. Yeah.
Man, Perth's doing well at the moment, right? Got some nice fighters coming up. Erceg had that beautiful performance the other day. Obviously, Jack Della Maddalena. You know, you've had your old fighters like Danny Green, etc. up there, man. Now you're doing your part, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're very slept on over here, you know, but everyone's gonna, you know, realize soon enough that we're very, very high level out west.
Man, I train with a guy from Perth two times a week, and I bash him all the time. So I'm kind of surprised that the Perth guys are such good fighters. I had to say that for him because he watches it. Man, so what do you see? You see your future as having a few fights, like you mentioned 4 fights in Eternal, probably trying to maintain the belt for 4 fights, and then looking at some of the bigger organizations with UFC, the major goal. Is that's what you're looking at? Is there any other sort of organizations you're interested in?
Not interested in anything other than the UFC. So I want to get another 4 or 5 fights under my belt, and then we'll be, you know, knocking on the UFC's door.
And what is it about that the big leagues that sort of excites you, man? As far as it's international, flying around, dealing with a big show, is that the sort of thing you're looking for?
Yeah, of course. You know, I love that. You know, I like to travel, and I find the bigger the spectacle, the more I like it, the more I tend to shine. I think the bigger the better.
Yeah, that's it, man. And are there any fighters now, like on the Aussie scene, that you've had lined up yet, or anyone you're eyeing off to have a fight with?
Yeah, well, the next one, maybe the winner out of Martinez, Joblin.
Yep.
Or another guy I want to fight is Josh Togo. You know, he's number 1 ranked on Topology. So yeah, he on paper he's the best guy in Oz. So I want to fight him. And
man, Joblin Martinez is on this weekend. I'm quite interested in that fight. You know, they're both nice guys, both very respectful guys. It'll be interesting sort of matchup of skills. Who do you pick?
I don't know. You know, I haven't seen too much footage on Joblin, but I've watched Martinez. So it's hard for me to say without seeing any like footage of Joblin first.
Yeah, man. One thing about Quillan is he's kind of been along the same paths as like Dan Hooker and Kai Kara France. Like his early days, similar gyms, training together, won a heap of titles and stuff along the way, and kind of just had a few patches where he wasn't fighting, a few things that kind of ruined his chances in like one Warrior Series, etc. But he's looking to get up there. He's looking for the belt as well, man. All you guys have got the same dreams, right? So hungry lions chasing you, man.
What was that last bit? Sorry.
I said hungry lions are chasing you.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Ruthless sport. We're all after each other's necks.
That's it, man. Also, I was remembering you had a fight with Don Marfan, another guy who I've talked to before. He's that fight you guys had was a pretty grueling affair, right? Yeah, it was
pretty much just wrestling and scrambles the whole fight. Yeah, so it was pretty taxing.
Yeah, for sure. Did that take you to a level you hadn't been before, bro? Like as far as, you know, just exhaustion?
I've been that exhausted before. Yeah. So I knew I'd be able to keep pushing through, and you know, going back to my corner, I knew he was more tired than me because I was winning most of the exchanges and putting in positions where he would have had to, you know, work harder than me. So even though I was getting tired, I knew he'd be more tired than me.
And what keeps you going, man? Like for the average person that watches, you know, they might not understand how taxing that is, but that's like taking you to a really high level of exhaustion. What keeps you to keep being motivated to fight on?
Oh, shit. Well, you know, you don't move, you die, pretty much. You know, that's move, you die. So I don't know, you just nothing else to do. You know, you stop, then you're done. So you just might as well keep moving forward.
And what training do you think helps that level to keep you pushing through that? Is it your strength and conditioning? Is it your normal sparring rounds? Is it your extra wrestling you do, or what?
Yeah, definitely the sparring, I find. Yeah, it's the most, you know, it's the most applicable to the actual fight. So we do rounds upon rounds. You know, we're always getting tired in the gym. You know, and then you just got to, you know, keep pushing through, learning how to fight tired, learning how to maintain your energy, and yeah, that's I find that's the best preparation.
Do you guys do anything like you see online a lot, the freestyle guys and the CKB guys doing like a spider, they call it, and this sort of thing where it's kind of a mixture between sparring, pad work, other sort of movements just to condition you? Do anything like that?
Yeah, we do our own version of the spider as well. Yeah, every Wednesday morning we do that. Yeah, so it's I wake up every Wednesday morning, not too keen to go to the gym. You got to go anyway.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. Actually, how do you motivate yourself? I ask a lot of guys this because to get to do what you do twice a day, 6 days a week, it's a very taxing thing to do. Like, what is it that motivates you to get up in the morning? What can people do to like kind of emulate it?
I'll wake up in the morning, wanting to be the best. So got to get out of bed. Got to go to the gym. I don't do anything else. So if I don't go to the gym, I'll get bored anyway. So,
do you have to battle many demons on that Wednesday morning to get up, or it's all right? You just do it?
Oh, not really. Like, I get up, I know it's going to suck, but just knock it down and just go do it. So.
Hey, I noticed on your record that you fought in Singapore before as an amateur. Have you fought anywhere else in the world, or it's always been Australia based?
Yeah, always been Australia. Yeah, that was the I went over for like the first Gamma tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a really good experience to get to travel, overseas and fight. It was the first time I actually went overseas as well in my life. So it was a very, very fun experience.
So that, like I mentioned before, that must be a bit of a driving force for you to be in the UFC, right? Go and see the big lights of Vegas and wherever else they hold their shows, and see the big time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just I've always looked at that, seeing the fighters go over there and on this big stage, big spectacle, and I get envious. That's what drives me. I want to do that, and I want to be it's like what most fighters want. I want that legacy. I want people to recognize my name.
Yeah, that's it, man. And I think as Australians, if anyone that did watch it, because it was an early fight, Stephen Erceg's win the other day was one of those ones to be envious of, right? Like, great performance, especially for his first time under the big lights. Really showed his skills against a decent opponent at a very high level, and he's doing well. So can't wait to see a few more Aussies doing the same.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love seeing the fellow Aussies go over and compete and win.
That's it, man. And speaking of that, bro, we've got the big UFC 293 coming. Eternal's on Sydney at the same time. Any chance you'd be on that show, or you don't know?
Yeah, I'm hoping I can get on that. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get on that Eternal. There'll be that's I was on the last Perth Eternal the day before the UFC, and that was it was brilliant to be a part of. So I'm really hoping I can do that again.
Sick, man. All right. So as I mentioned before, you want to do 4 fights before you try and hit the big time. What's the timeline for that? Is that like mid 2024 finish, ready to go, or?
Yeah, I think around that time. So I'm 23 now, so I know by the time I'm 25, I'll be real close, and I'll be knocking on that door.
Yeah, nice, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that's it from me, man. Appreciate your time. Looking forward to see your success holding the belt, man. I hope you can break that lightweight eternal belt curse and keep it going. And we'll be watching.
Thank you very much, Toby.
Cool. All right, bro. Thanks.